Man was banging for him before his injury, up front partnering John Hartson.
So on the subs bench you'll see one player missing for Aberdeen. That's because Jamie Winter's been promoted to the starting 11, and Darren Mackey there with Gary Dempsey, the more experienced substitutes. Celtic with Didi Agat is there with Sean Maloney, and Alan Thompson is also on the bench. And the referee this afternoon, Charlie Richmond, will bring out the two teams. Kev McNaughton bringing out Aberdeen, and that's a big occasion, I'm sure, for him. Emerging from that familiar tunnel at Pretoria. With a huge welcome, Aberdeen having replaced a number of players this summer, hope to do better than they've been doing this season. They were challenging hard with Hibs last season for third place. Hasn't happened as yet this season, despite the introduction of new blood. Jimmy Calderwood is in the stand. Remember, he's been banished from the dugout by the SFA. So Xander Diamond is a young player who I think mirrors this question about consistency. Mark, 20 years old, he burst on the scene over the last couple of seasons, 9 under 21 caps, then suffered a dip in form which tested his resilience to the full. Recent performances though suggest he's coming back to his best.
Yeah, there's another guy there, Aidan McGeady, burst onto the scene. Blistering talent, young, 3 caps for the Republic of Ireland already. Had his dip and now finding his form that he found when he first came into the side.
Oh, Gordon Strachan emerging, he'll get a huge reception, I'm sure. Was here between 1977 and 84 after being signed from Dundee. Won 2 league championships, 3 Scottish Cups, a European Cup Winners' Cup, and 50 Scotland caps over a 12-year period, also including his time at Manchester United and Leeds. Well, left here in 1984. 21 long years ago, Gordon Strachan. He certainly was a hero in his playing days.
You can face it, safe to say he's been a hero wherever he's been. Gordon Strachan, great servant.
So Zaraski and Lennon waiting for the whistle from referee Charlie Richmond. And a very important match about to commence. The rain falling steadily, although the pitch looks in immaculate condition, replaced in the summer at a substantial cost, £300,000, and certainly looking very good indeed, despite the heavy downpour we've had over the last 36 hours or so in Aberdeen.
I think you'll be looking for a quick start from both teams today, trying to set the tempo. Treacherous conditions for defenders.
Well, there's the first pass through the middle there from Petrov, and you would expect Celtic to try to get at that back 3 of Aberdeen. 20-year-old Xander Diamond, 20-year-old Jamie Winter, and 18-year-old Andrew Considine. I can't think of many managers apart from Jimmy Calderwood who'd be brave enough to do that. Here's Steve McManus, we headed away. That Celtic back 5 broken up for the first time after 18 matches playing together. Mo Camara is out this afternoon. Ross Willis comes in, and that certainly did produce a substantial level of consistency. Kev McNaughton playing wide on the right hand side of a 4-man midfield. Jamie Smith playing wide right in the front 3. Very ambitious formation this for Aberdeen. Clearly want to try to win this match. There's no question of containment being the main target. That's blocked there by Crawford.
Good closing down there from Aberdeen in the Aberdeen midfield area. And so that's a major part of the game. It's going to be won or lost in there. Aberdeen have started, been right up against every loose ball.
So familiar Celtic formation, the back 4, Telford, Balde, McManus and Wallace, Shunsuke and Nakamura wide on the right, Lennon and Petrov in the engine room, and Aidan McGeady out on the left, Watson and Zaraski the penetration providers through the middle.
A little of indecision there between Xander Diamond and Winter. Finally got it sorted out. It's very important. Those 3 young players at the back do communicate. As I say, between them and the Barry Nicholson, it's a big talking area where they need to keep in close touch.
Aberdeen's last home win against Celtic was back in December 2001, 4 years ago, when they won by 2-0. Darren Mackey with a scorer that day. The last 2 victories Aberdeen have had against Celtic have been at Celtic Park. Here's Petrov, tackled by Nicholson, riding the tackle well. The referee waiting to see if the advantage was possible. It wasn't. So Celtic have a free kick.
As we see again, Aberdeen midfield biting very, very quickly in there. As soon as it goes into the danger area.
Headed away by Winter. That's Muirhead. The question, well, as Aberdeen have lined up in a 3-4-3 formation, it does lend itself, this squad of players lend itself to various formations, Mark. They could adapt very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, the wider men just slide back into playing full-back positions. You can end up playing 5 at the back. But Jimmy Caldwell don't want that to happen too much today. I think you want the wider men pushed into the more advanced areas of the pitch, keep his team up the pitch, keep his team going forward.
Interesting too that Chris Clark has been deployed on Stilian Petrov. Misunderstanding there between McNaughton and Smith, allowing Petrov to collect. Now Hartson. This is Balde. Real sign of the times, the quality of this surface, Mark, and in the middle of December, middle of winter, after some shocking weather, it looks terrific. Here's Winter under pressure, he's done extremely well. Ryan Essen well out, but that kind of understanding that develops over many, many matches could possibly be there as far as Essen and Winter are concerned. Good ball from Nakamura. Here's Petrov striding away from Considine, looks up inside, checks, waits for the opportunity, and it's too high for Hartson. A real opportunity there for Celtic. Petrov very patient indeed. That's Wallace now with the cross. Winter did just enough. Now Petrov again. Good block by Considine.
That's the runs that man there will be looking to make. The narrow 3 at the back for Aberdeen. There'll be spaces behind the 5-man midfield of Aberdeen, and that man's got plenty of energy to get in there.
Header away was by Diamond. This is Crawford. Wide for Jamie Smith. Heavy challenge there on Crawford. He's in trouble. It's a worry for Aberdeen right away.
It's important that that man uses his experience. Stevie Crawford gets hold of the ball. Bit of a loose layoff there. It's important that he keeps hold of the ball and blends the midfield play in. Baldy just catching him right on the instep there. It's a sore one. And there's Petrov getting in behind. The Aberdeen 5 in midfield. A let off.
Well, Jimmy Nicholl has taken the opportunity from the bench at Aberdeen to give instructions to the skipper, Kevin McNaughton. Maybe some tinkering already with the formation. The nasty challenge that, Baldy really stood on that instep in the ankle of Crawford.
Yeah, on the ankle bone or Achilles tendon where it attaches itself to the heel. It's always sore and stiffen up pretty quickly.
Familiar figure of Davy Wiley leads off Crawford. Essen's free kick. Good leap there by Smith. Getting above Ross Wallace, as you might expect, mind you. So Winter has time here, and very, very good footballer, Jamie Winter. Main consideration, I think, for him has been mobility and pace. He certainly has lots of ability in his feet. This is Nakamura. Now it's Telfer. Telfer again. Winter did just enough. This is awkward for Smith with Wallace. Wallace made the challenge. Here's Petrov. Back it comes to Lennon. And Balde. Celtic intent on retaining possession. A real feature of the Gordon Strachan era. Much more direct in the past. The long balls that go to the front much quicker. Crossing comes to Telfer. Here's Zaraski making a very good turn away from Considine. Once again, Lennon quite content to play the ball back. Petrov can use McManus in space now. They're striding forward. Purposeful. Wallace. This is McGeady under pressure from McNaughton. That's good play by McGeady. Here's Wallace. Know each other very well, these two. Been together. The youth team in reserves for a long time. Nakamura now stepping away there from Nicholson. Bundled over by Byrne. Sometimes a little bit rash, Richie Byrne. No need for a foul to be committed there.
We'll just get a little bit impatient there. No, just to show Nakamura across the pitch. But good passage of play there from Celtic. Retention of the ball. Out to the left, back out to the right. No hurried pass at all, forced pass.
Wallace over the free kick. Baldy and McManus have gone forward. It's well won by Considine. Baldy wins it again though, and Essen happy to collect without any real challenge. Well, let's get some observation of the touchline from our reporter there, Scott Booth.
Yes, Jock, it's really the worst possible scenario for Aberdeen at the back. You know, that Russell Anderson being out today, he normally pulls Xander Diamond through in games like this, and also at the back with Andrew Considine and Jamie Winter. They'll have never played together at the back, especially in the back three, and you can see already that the runs from Petrov are causing problems, especially down that left side of defence for Aberdeen, and Celtic will be trying to take advantage of that.
Well, an offside flag there, that wouldn't have counted. Stevie Crawford was offside when Clark had the shot at goal, so there was no difficulty there for Celtic in defence.
Well, that's what needs to happen more from Aberdeen. I know it's early into the game, but the central two midfield players need to drive forward and need to put Celtic two centre-halves under pressure.
Well, very interesting point made by Scott Booth, Mark. It seems quite interesting to see that Diamond and Considine are being deployed as markers with Winter as sweeper. They're not playing a flat back three as some teams do.
No, one should step off. I would have expected Winter. He's the footballing man of the three there, just to step off, pick the ball up, and then try and pass the ball out if he can get time on the ball. But as you say, a lot of inexperience between the three there. Not ideal. The last minute, if you're a manager.
Your heads lay off. Yes, they're a huge onus normally, and Russell Anderson to hold the defence together to cajole players through and look after them at the back. Remember, he suffered from a severe migraine headache yesterday and hasn't made a good enough recovery to play. This is Zuraski, now Hartson. Really up from McGeady. Unfamiliar territory this for Hartson, but you can tell his footwork's good. He's a really good passer of the ball. This is Nakamura against Byrne. Goes to both sides very effectively, Nakamura. That makes it hard for defenders. Measured that for Petrov. The cross comes in. It's a difficult one for Essen in these treacherous wet conditions. He took that very well indeed. Conditions worsening by the minute.
Poor play there from Aberdeen. Those passes on, just a misplaced pass, and the pressure straight back on again. Need to retain the possession.
Possession suggesting there Celtic are beginning to dominate the game. 60-40 in possession terms. Good challenge made at the back there by McNaughton. This is Smith to Diamond. Well, I'm sure that the early stages of the match are the most worrying times for the management of Aberdeen to see this young defence settle. Crawford helps it on. That's Baldy. Wells could give it in. Well, major test indeed. The young Aberdeen side. Stevie Crawford, the senior citizen at 31. Jamie Smith, one of the senior players too, he's just 25. So too is Chris Clark in the centre of midfield. Asking a lot of Richie Byrne, no chance of getting there.
It's a tough pass in these conditions, but if you're going to be trying to make those sort of passes, they're the ones you need to be up the side of the centre half through the centre of the pitch. Get the big guys trying to turn around in these wet conditions. Very, very slippery, very treacherous.
Gordon Strachan looking on. They're certainly enjoying a lot of possession, this team, but not showing a lot of penetration as yet. Diamond challenging Hartson. Hartson thought he was fouled. Balde to McManus. His 19th consecutive match. 20th, in fact. 20th consecutive match for McManus. Boric, 11 shutouts in 18 he's had this season. Impressive record, 5 in the last 7 games. Taking all the time in the world to get this ball positioned correctly. Considine did well. It's a good pass too to find Muirhead. Now Crawford drifted off to the left. Now McNaughton. Smith. Point to prove for Jamie Smith against the club when he started his career. Enjoyed some good times as well, and some first team action. This is Byrne. Well, a very long way out for Richie Byrne. He really couldn't expect to beat Arthur Boric from there, surely. Yeah, speculative there from Richie Byrne, but looking at the conditions, hopefully that was going to bounce just in front of Boric. First effort on goal for Aberdeen. Pretty comfortable for that man there. He's come in what has been a problem position for Celtic for a number of years. Done extremely well. Celtic get the throw. It's deflected as the challenge is made by Hartson. Paul Telfer will take this. Well, a year ago today, Paul Telfer was playing for Southampton at Old Trafford against Manchester United. A 3-goal defeat against goalscorers Scholes, Rooney and Ronaldo. Here's Telfer again, looking for the head of Hartson, but that's played too long. Harmlessly wide and behind. So Aberdeen, I think, Mark, entitled to feel fairly satisfied at the opening quarter of an hour. Yeah, I think so. I think Jimmy Cordell will be quite pleased. Talking between the back threes, getting a little bit better. It was a little bit disjointed for the first 5 or 10 minutes, as you'd expect. But I think they've been the pace of the game. They've started to put a few passes in the more advanced areas of the park. I think he'll be quite pleased the way things are going at the moment. Now McGeady. Across it goes in the back 4 for Celtic. It's McManus who plays it long. Zaraski get up very well to that. The additional play of Considine was good. Muirhead helping that on. Only 2 players, in fact, over the age of 25 in this Aberdeen side. And that's Barry Nicholson at 27 and Steve Crawford at 31. Aberdeen tending to sit a little bit deep. Once the ball is in that Celtic half, they're funneling back. They're not pressing the ball, allowing the back 4 all the possession they want. Celtic. Guided down by Hartson. That was well read by Clark. These pass backs, though, potentially treacherous in these conditions. Superb play by Lennon. Oh, really. I thought he chested that down very well indeed. Charlie Richmond had a better view though. He said it was handball. It's Charlie Richmond looking straight at the play there. Yeah, and obviously coming off the chest and then onto the arm. I think that's what Charlie Richmond is saying. You see it here, look. He is unlucky though. He's just unlucky, yeah, but the referee's there, right in the right position. Here's Smith. Helped inside by Clark. That's good play by Clark. In his 149th match for Aberdeen. Byrne. Muirhead. Couldn't control that well enough. Tidy passing by Celtic. That's where you see the edge and quality from time to time. It's the way the ball is passed, and another by Balde. This is Nicholson. He's turned well. Ran straight into Neil Lennon, and Telfer closed in to help the central defence. Good work from Stevie Crawford on Baldy there. Aberdeen have been good at in 17 minutes, getting close on players, not giving a lot of time for the Celtic players to get their heads up and make passes. Jimmy Nicholl not happy at all. He's giving some stick with Jamie Winter. Why, I don't know. It must be his positional play that is worrying the Aberdeen assistant manager. Remember, Jimmy Calderwood not on the bench. irony being that this is where dugouts were invented, way back in the 20s, and the manager can't sit in one this afternoon because he's been banished. Comments to an official. Won by Hartson. Awkward for Considine. Zurawski holding him off. Good cover though. Byrne and Winter coming to Considine's rescue.
Yeah, Considine just getting himself in 6s and 7s there. Letting the ball go over his head. He should try and attack that at its highest point. Recovered. Especially in these conditions, Jock. I don't think defenders should be letting anything bounce, just clearing the areas.
Clearance there by McManus. Well, it's proving difficult to keep these flowing passing movements going through midfield. Some very tight marking and tough challenges being made. Kevin McNaughton missed 5 matches with an ankle injury. Came back last week and now skippers the side this afternoon for Aberdeen. So here's Ross Wallace, who played his only other start this year for Celtic against Aberdeen Bratislava at home. 4-0 victory, which wasn't enough to keep Celtic in the competition. Back it comes now to Balde. This is Winter. Well, this is what you would like to see a sweeper do, stepping out like that to play passes. Ball gathering pace off the surface, away there from both Nicholson and McManus.
Yeah, that's what you like to see. The Winter there just coming into the space, continental style. Space in front of you, come and play in the midfield area. Try and release players being marked in front of you.
Very good dead ball kicker, Boric. And very good in the air, Hartson. Beyond Zurawski. Turned away effectively there by Telfer. Richie Burden came here from Dunfermline, like Barry Nicholson and Steve Crawford. Played for Jimmy Calderwood there. Started his career at Shamrock Rovers. Don Gibbons was the player who recommended him to Dunfermline, under 21 manager of the Republic of Ireland. This is Chris Clark. Unlucky there for Smith, standing in the ball. Now the break led by Lennon and McGeady. Driven pass, well cut off by Considine. Muirhead playing it inside. An error by Balde. Crawford trying to take advantage. Needs support, gets it from Byrne from left midfield. And he's on his own now, he's isolated here. There's just nowhere for him to go. That was not good play by Aberdeen. They left Byrne with the ball and no one went to it to help him. Petrov now switching the play. Forward comes Wallace. McGeady, promising for Celtic. Zurawski's gone offside. Clearly offside. Well, the flag did not go up because it was cut off by Aberdeen. Sure it would have done had it reached them. Here's Nakamura. Sliding the pass in towards Hartson. Excellent tackle by Considine. Top class play by the youngster.
Super defending there from Considine. Watch the ball all the way. Man's deadly in that penalty box. Never took his eyes off the ball. A great tackle.
And that on his allegedly weaker side too. That's a left-sided player.
These sort of things gives the young players confidence. Very important tackle.
His dad had a similar impact for a while here at Pittodrie, playing for Aberdeen, along with Gordon Strachan. In the late 70s, early 80s. Centre back and left back he was. Gordon Strachan was a teammate. Along with all very fine players in the Cleach Miller defensive era. Nakamura running straight into the strong left leg of Byrne. Across it comes now to McManus. Seeing a lot of the ball at the back. McGeady dropping short, once more involved in the play. Good return from Hartson. And McNaughton did well. Essen careful with the clearance. Remember our man of the match competition, you can win a signed shirt from the man of the match. If your selection agrees with that of Mark Haley at the end of the match, all you have to do is call 0901 65 65 515. From the Republic of Ireland, call 15137 12444. And you can text to MOTMH or MOTMP space player's name 85010. And the best of luck, very early on time to think about that right now, but free kick goes there to Celtic.
Zander Diamond, I think, just guilty of catching Zaraski with an arm, I think. Is he going off for a wee little push?
Well, this is very dangerous for the Aberdeen defence, because Nakamura has already demonstrated genuine expertise on scored one against Motherwell at Celtic Park a short time back, which flew into the top corner. And the wall is 5 in all. The referee being very careful about the positioning of the ball. Charlie Richmond.
Nice little smile on Charlie Richmond's face as well. Nakamura just trying to gain an extra couple of feet.
I can't believe anyone bar Nakamura will take this. Petrol over the ball too. Well, didn't have the elevation to get up and over the wall first. That's a great pass. Here's Telfer now. Good opportunity. And Aberdeen living very dangerously indeed. Game is stopped. Wallace in possession because Chris Clark was injured. He was the player who made the block inside the wall. And clearly the referee's concerned about his well-being.
I find that incredible, Joe. Into a position that Celtic get themselves in. I think Chris Clark obviously has been winded from the free kick. I think that's just a ridiculous decision to be made. A goal-scoring opportunity for Celtic there. Obviously, I think Chris Clark right in the rib cage, knocking the stuffing out of him to pull the game off at that particular junction.
The fourth official, Callum Murray, getting a bit of complaint from Gordon Strachan. Well, he can't do much about it, but the decision was very, very strange indeed, because it wasn't as if it was a head injury or anything. It was clearly serious.
Well, for me, as soon as he went down, he could see he'd been winded and the stuff had been knocked out of him. I thought the game was only to be held up if it was a serious injury or a head injury. Joe, that's my interpretation of the law.
Well, that's very unkind to Celtic. They would have excellent attacking position. Now, no doubt Ryan Esler giving the ball back here, but there's not much consolation there. Some difference having the ball in that position compared to the edge of the box with Ross Wallace in lots of space. Now, the little niggling worry that can into your mind, Mark, is whether or not the referee will be tempted shortly to compensate for that.
To even things up. We've seen it done before.
It's a human reaction. It's not a conscious one, and he won't do it consciously, but it will be interesting to see what happens. This is Muirhead. Chris Clark's been waved back on the field of play, so he's coming back on to make the Aberdeen side return to its full complement of 11. Here's Lennon. Nakamura's layoff. Aberdeen content to let Celtic have the ball in that deep position, conserving energy to not pressing the ball in that area.
Yeah, just filling in the spaces behind, saying come on, try and beat us with a good pass.
Well, this challenge was good on Crawford. This is Nakamura. Hartson's layoff finds Petrov. He has McGeady on the left, now sprinting inside. Here's Hartson, a playmaker role with Nakamura. Waiting for the run made by Wallace on the left. McGeady takes over. This is Zurawski. Good defending around the box by Aberdeen. Now McGeady can take on McNaughton. McNaughton strong enough and quick enough to make that challenge.
It's good patient play again there from Celtic. Didn't force the ball, didn't force the issue, just kept retention of the ball. Recycled out from the left to the right. Unforced. Patient play.
Telfer's long throw. Gives back to Nakamura. Diamond first to that ball before Hartson. There's Arthur Warwick's roll out of his goal. Very sure-footed indeed. Diamond's header collected by Lennon. They do defend the box very well, Aberdeen.
Got the numbers in there, they're very tight and forcing the ball down the side. There's not a lot of space in there, you know, to play the little 1-2s around the two centre halves and the sweeper.
Well, advantage allowed there. I'm sure that would have been a foul. A turnover behind by Diamond and Hartson. Referee Richmond allowed play to flow. Here's Nicholson.
I think this is where Aberdeen are letting themselves down. They're getting stifled. They need to retain the ball, but get it out the other side. That's where they've got the overload.
Good play from Aberdeen. Here's Muirhead now. Can he deliver this? It's a very disappointing ball back inside. And the referee's holding things up here. He's going to have words with a Celtic player, Bobo Balde. He's giving a free kick to Aberdeen. And we'll see why in just a second.
There's a lunge there. Just catching Byrne with the trailing foot. I think that's where Aberdeen in the midfield area, they're getting into one side. And with the 5-man midfield, they've got that extra overload on the far side and not changing the play quick enough at the moment for me.
Jamie Smith might fancy this. Scored 7 times already in his Aberdeen career. That's very close to 8. Whoa, very well struck by Smith. Boric was clearly satisfied it was going wide.
Yeah, a lot of action on the ball, too much action. Super technique, keeping the ball with plenty of pace, getting it up and down. There's too much curve on it.
The man in the stand, Jimmy Calderwood, the Aberdeen manager. Wired up to Jimmy Nicholl on the bench below.
I wouldn't fancy being sat next to Jimmy Calderwood up there, but he's getting a bit of an earache.
It's well won by Hartson. Awkward for Diamond. There's Zarafsky now with a chance. Corner kick's given. Well, Zarafsky will never get a better chance than that. Xander Diamond's back header was short.
Yeah, 6s and 7s here. Zarafsky played on the mistake, but great save there from Ryan Essen, keeping his side in it. Xander Diamond just caught on his heels. Robbie Winter just caught out of position, got caught too tight. Up on Zarafsky.
Nakamura's corner. Essen comes for that, and Petrov beat him to the ball. Couldn't keep the header down. Excellent run by Petrov, this.
It's that customary late run into the box there. Petrov, big and brave, gets up there. Just can't get over top of the ball enough. We're just getting back to the incident that led up to it. But that's that lack of experience for Robbie Winter. He sees his centre half is under pressure, must allow himself to drop an extra 5 or 10 yards to compensate for that. But failed to do that.
Well, a very fine save it was by Ryan Essen. I thought that was a straightforward miss by Zarafsky, but Essen deserves great credit. Here's Petrov. Back with McGeady looking for a shooting chance. Denied the space by McNaughton. Now Wallace. Back with Nakamura. Patient play from Celtic around the box. Probing for the opening. Nakamura beautifully tackled there by Smith. And very good play in the end by McNaughton. Wallace blocks that for the goal kick.
Yeah, Aberdeen are doing that well. Stifling that middle area around the D and the 18-yard box. Forcing Celtic to carry the ball across the face of the goal into the wider areas.
Well, still Celtic dominating territorially and in terms of possession, I'm sure. But Aberdeen hanging on, battling very hard indeed. Baldi header, that's Considine trying to get to the pitch of the ball. Diamond timing for that, looking over his own player. Challenge there by McManus, penalised by the referee. It was Crawford who felt the brunt of that.
Important he continues to do this. Stevie Crawford, try and get on the end of things, try and keep the ball close.
Winter's free kick. Nakamura marking Muirhead. Throw goes to Celtic. Larson very strong in this position, holding off Considine. Real learning experience for the youngster. That's McManus. Balde, not too many options ahead, therefore square pass looks more appropriate for Telfer. The layoff from Zurawski, a little bit heavy for Hartson. And Nakamura. Looking for McGeady. Considine steps in. Well, Considine, finally his 9th game for Aberdeen. 5 starts, 3 sub appearances so far. Burma had to hurry. Giving it straight to McManus. This is McGeady. Still some very sharp, effective passing from Celtic, but not yet too often in the final third. That's down to the work of Aberdeen.
Not too many penetrating balls through the middle. Aberdeen are making it difficult because they've got numbers in there.
Misjudged there by Clark, not by Petrov though. Zurawski tagging in the back by Considine. Advantage will apply because Petrov has the ball, despite the fact Zurawski's down. Here's Nakamura. Hartson now wants the referee to get attention for Zurawski. The game has not yet been stopped by the referee. Now this is the difficulty he created with the earlier decision. Yep. That's that kind of equalisation problem that comes up. He was determined not to do what he thought was wrong there, and the referee's going to take some action here.
John Hartson was just testing him there. I think if you're a Celtic player, you kick it straight into touch, but I can't believe that that wasn't a foul on Zurawski. It was a clear tackle from behind.
There's now a warning for Considine. He's talking to Considine now about that tackle. It's a clear foul.
A clear foul from behind. And a strange decision there from the referee. Has a word with him afterwards, but doesn't give a free kick. How's the logic in that?
Well, go to strike it again under Callum Murray. But you see, I think the referee knows that he was wrong the first time with Chris Clark, and therefore found himself in a big dilemma there about what to do because of what he'd done earlier.
Yeah, because of a mistake he made. Absolutely. Use that tackle again. Considine, Zurawski, just taking him out on the left leg, nowhere near the ball.
And the advantage that was given was so remote. I mean, it was back to Petrov in really the middle of the field with no real opportunity to make anything of that. Well, Gordon Strachan can't quite follow that, and Keith Sorby over there on the line, equally amused. Zurawski is coming back though. He's back on the field of play. Tartman on the worse. A heavy knock from behind. It was a worry that when you're a player back from injury taking a strong tackle like that. There's McManus forward. It's collected by McGeady. Retains the ball well, McGeady. Comfortable on either side, left and right. Well, it looks to me like a situation, Mark, which is really tailor-made for Petrov to provide that extra attacking thrust from a midfield run to support the front two. Is that the Diamond's clearance?
I think I said before the game. Yeah, that midfield area with the battlefield. I think a lot of the play's been done in there across the pitch. Good retention from Celtic, good pressure from Aberdeen. There's not been a lot of goalmouth incidents. Essen, good save. Budic, straightforward shot from Byrne from about 35 yards. From apart from that, it's been pretty quiet.
For that contest though, the man marking of Chris Clark and Petrov so important in the match. Here's Petrov getting away from him because Clark slipped a moment ago. Petrov's pass. This is Zurawski setting up Hartson. That's a miscue. I regret trying to be as clever as he was there, Hartson. Yeah. More orthodox ball would have paid off.
That was nearly one of those great passes. If it goes in and stays in, Nakamura on the far post. It's just a cheeky chip that went wrong there.
And a chance for Jamie Smith there. That's possession given up too easily from the Aberdeen point of view. Jimmy Nicholl not a happy man about that. Sandy Clark, his lieutenant this afternoon. This is Winter. That's a good pass. Muirhead. Off goes Byrne at pace. Telfer tries to match him. And Barry Nicholson's controlled that well. That's a disappointing ball across. Much too high and long, but Smith is doing something with that. That's good play by Smith. Held up well by Wallace. Oh, he tried to tee it up from Muirhead. Petrov was in the way.
It's better play though from Aberdeen. That's the sweep for Winter, getting on the ball and finding that pass. And get Aberdeen going forward. Not done enough of that for me in the first half.
Foul by Hartson on Diamond. Free kick to Aberdeen. That flying right arm, I think, the problem.
Yeah, the flying arm again. As most strikers do, and centre halves must be said. As soon as the ball's up, their arms go up automatically.
It's well won by Telfer. Good header down by Nakamura. That's for Zaravsky. What a wonderful interception by Considine. Well, the young man is warming to the task. Remember, just 18 years old.
There's only one winner of that ball there. That was Considine. Nakamura didn't want any of it. Total commitment to the tackle there. Nice to see.
Well, Jimmy Calder in communication with the bench. In goes Diamond, strongly on Hartson. This is Clark. Space on the right for McNaughton. McNaughton needs some help. Chris Clark under pressure, doing very well indeed to shrug off McGeady. That's a foul, surely. Well, if they allow the advantage again because Aberdeen kept the ball. That's a good pass. Came from Winter through to Smith. A little bit ambitious there, Jamie Smith, trying to dig on a little bit too much perhaps. There's Petrov. Now McGeady. Oh, it's a lovely sleight of foot again from McGeady. Hartson. A little bit obvious. Well intercepted by Byrne. Disappearing up a blind alley there, Richie Byrne. Never got his head up to see what was happening around him. Now he could be struggling. Nakamura's in behind him. Well, Diamond didn't need to play that. That's good play by McNaughton. Remember a man of the match competition. See if you can identify the top player and agree with Mark Haitley, then you'll win a signed shirt with that man of the match if you are the lucky winner of the draw. These are the numbers to call, the text addresses to use, and a number of candidates beginning to emerge, I think. Back it comes to Telfer. This is Lennon. Well, Aberdeen, I'm certain they'll be very satisfied if they can play out the next 5 minutes and go to half-time level with their reconstituted team and with these young players. To get some belief perhaps about them, but this is always a key phase of the match. Celtic have a habit of scoring goals late in the half. Zarovsky taking the throw from a Celtic supporter in the stand there, and playing up the spirit of things. Here's the Irishman Richie Byrne now with the throw. Cut off by Petrov. Space for Wallace. Closed down by Smith. Nasty late challenge. Advantage applied. It's not in Smith's character to do that deliberately, but it was certainly a sore one, I think, for Wallace. A very good play again from Considine. Yep. Judged the bounce extremely well.
Yeah, nearly got done with the bounce. I think Hartson just stands his ground there. Pushes Winter under the ball. Just recovered enough.
Tidy play by Crawford. That's McNaughton. Nicholson well forward. Won't get to that. Well, he's the player entrusted with the task of putting pressure on from midfield for Aberdeen. He's in the area of Neil Lennon, whereas it's Clark against Petrov in the other midfield position. breaking kick out there from Boric. It's well timed by Telfer. There's no offside because the ball was not going to Hartson. It would have been offside otherwise, I'm sure. The space here for Muirhead. Goes down rapidly though by Petrov. Well taken down by Crawford. Turned away by Telfer. Well, just the odd signs coming on that Aberdeen are beginning to believe a little bit more that they can get forward and cause some trouble.
Yeah, just need to make a few more passes in that midfield area. I know there's not a lot of space in there because both teams are very competitive. Pushing pressure on the ball. I think this is where Aberdeen are letting themselves down. Now look on the far side, there's a spare man all the time. It's just that switcher play that they're not doing quick enough.
This is McGeady drifting into the centre now, leaving the left flank there to Wallace. Here's Wallace now. That's a fine pass, sharp, first time pass. McGeady is nimble and tricky. And he's been fouled by McNaughton. It's a free kick to Celtic. A good late opportunity in the first half, perhaps, for Celtic.
Good strength from the young player here, McGeady. He's trying to stay on his feet.
Well, giving great credit. No question of a dive from the young man.
Richmond trying to let the play go. See if McGeady could get an advantage from that, but failed to do so.
Nakamura over the set piece. He's very accurate normally. All the big men up. McManus and Baldy with Hartson. The wrestling match going on there with Hartson and Byrne. Well, Richie Byrne was the marker. He stuck to his task very well here, but look how he's held off. Shrugged off, pushed off the ball as the ball's in the air.
I think that's just good body strength there from John Hartson. Richie Byrne, there's a mismatch in weights there.
Manis with a header into space for Zurawski. Can he get there? Well, didn't matter. Diamond was following him all the way, timed that extremely well. Carrying a big burden of responsibility. His two teammates in the three-man centre defence with very little first-team experience. 2 additional minutes to be added. A minimum of 2, of course, they always say. Doesn't often go beyond that. Here's Bobo Balde and now Nakamura. Byrne putting pressure on. It's with McManus. That's intended for Zurawski. The header challenge is made by Considine, who's an outstanding first half for Aberdeen. Header down there by Muirhead. Crawford now has options to the right. Jamie Smith, an acre of space. That's a very ambitious pass. Smith had an acre over there on the far side. And he's showing his frustration too.
That passes on all the time, Jock. It's on the left or on the right. There's a player. That's why they're playing 5 across the middle of the park, Aberdeen. There should be a player spare. It's just getting your head up and making that pass.
Final minute now of the first half of the stoppage time. Free kick, as a throw rather, to Celtic. Barely enough time for more than one attack, I would suggest. Here's Bobo Balde now in possession, and McManus. This may go long, I think, because of the time. But the habits have been bred into these players to keep passing the ball, not to go route one. Here's Zurawski and Nakamura. Back it comes to Telfer. And now Stephen McManus. Wallace playing further and further forward as the game has gone on that left hand side, allowing McGeady to drift inside to link with Hartson and Zurawski. Patient play continues from Celtic, and that is the end of the first half. Jimmy Calderwood makes for the dressing room where he can impart some wisdom. Andrew Considine, a revelation, the 18-year-old in defence, and Gordon Strachan makes for the dressing room. He's watched his team enjoy lots and lots of possession, frustrated a little bit by some of the refereeing decisions, but there's been no penetration in the end. Zurawski missing the best chance of all. There's referee Charlie Richmond, who has tried to keep the game flowing. Gary Pendry making his points to Gordon Strachan before the half-time team talk. So a fascinating second half in prospect at Pittodrie. The half-time score remains though goalless, and Charlie Richmond makes for the dressing room now. And the half-time score: Aberdeen 0, Celtic 0.